Roll call. Robert?
Here.
Dave? Mike?
Yeah.
Ron? Two members are,
3 members.
3 members, 1 member is vacant, 2 members are gone. I think we're gonna try to get 1 member on the internet here in a little bit, but we'll see how that goes.
Which
yeah,
member is that?
Jim Robb.
Okay.
The audience have any comments? Chopper? No.
No.
Okay, next on the agenda is any additions or deletions? Hearing none, we'll stick with the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from Monday, December 14th?
So move to approve the minutes of December 14th.
I'll second.
Motion Don, second Mike. I just had one comment there on the actual date of the meeting was the 14th and not the 15th at the top there, so Stacy's got that corrected. Anybody else?
Yeah, the motion that I made, second by Rudd, to agree paying Kim the agreed severance is wrong here.
That's the 4th bullet down on construction updates.
Yep.
What was wrong on
Well, the
the,
motion was made, that's part's correct, but, the way it's being paid
oh,
is not correct.
Mr. Chairman, audience.
I thought we had discussion about that at that last meeting, about
did
the
have-
city had problems with the bi-weekly payout.
This is the way the city had to do it, according to Mary.
Yeah,
I was under the assumption at first, because she was looking into it, Mr. Farmer, that it would be levied as a regular paycheck with taxes out. The city can't do that, however, taxes are being taken out of the check. That seemed to...
No. I talked with Mary and Betty, and they had determined that we couldn't pay you in 21 weekly checks, because then we would be responsible for workman's comp and all the other things that go along with it.
This is in the same realm as a vacation check, a bulk vacation check, or any service check the city's ever done. It's done the same way. Bulk check, they don't take out workman's comp and social security, they take out federal and state tax.
No,
This
you're
is
missing
done.
you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not disputing anything as to how it's being paid. What all I'm saying is, at that meeting, you wanted 21 weekly payments. We approved that. We approved that. But the city says we can't pay it that way, because then we would be responsible for you for 21 weeks of insurance and all the other stuff that goes with it. So at that point in time, my statement to them was, whatever is legal, whatever is right. It doesn't make any difference if he's paid in 1 check or 10 checks. All I'm saying is this is wrong. It has to be changed as to how you're going to get paid.
we reflected in this month's meeting.
Well, that's fine, that's fine.
The director's severance was paid out in one lump sum by the city the first pay period of January 2016.
All
Is
right.
that correct? You get your check yet, Chopper?
It's there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but now, Steve, the check we give to the city on the 31st of December.
Mm-hmm.
Who give anybody the authority to give a check for that amount of money to the city?
You did.
Who did?
The board did.
No, they didn't. Don't come with that. We approved Chopper paying you that amount. There was discussion as to when it was going to be paid, in 15 or 16. I said at the time, it had to be paid in 16.
Actually, Robert is the one that insisted on that.
On the 15th or on?
Paid on one January 1st, 16.
No, I didn't say that, I just, no,
So you felt that it should be though?
no.
But he don't have the authority to do that, Chopper. That stuff is supposed to be done here at the board.
It was done at the board.
When?
There's a motion to pay me my severance.
When?
The only question is.
No, Chopper, when was the motion that was made to pay you when?
Mike,
Don't you go on, Stephen, I'll find it.
The conversation went, and the way the meeting went, we were not gonna pay it until we figured out where we were gonna get the money from,
No.
where the money was gonna come out of. Right?
No.
Well, there was some discussion about it, but I don't say that we agreed
No,
on
there
it.
wasn't.
No, but I think we're supposed to pay it after the first of the year.
But I thought we were gonna, the discussion was where they were gonna take that 13,000 out of. Where were we gonna get it from? Am I right?
There was discussion about that, but, you know, and there was. I remember where we were gonna
May
get the
I
money.
ask, is your point that because you only approved 1/21st of a payment over 21 weeks and the entire amount was paid out?
No,
Well, that's not your point.
that's not a point at all.
Okay.
The point is, it was to be paid in 2016,
It wasn't?
not
check was cut
2015.
in December.
And nobody had approval. What I'm saying, there is nobody that I know of that give approval to give that check to the city. It's the same thing as that doghouse. We dropped that 10,000 bucks there, and now if something goes wrong, we're gonna drop another 13,000. All I'm saying is it gotta be done legal. Nobody has that authority to authorize payment until this board approves it. And we've already paid it. It's what I've been saying all along about the blanket authorization. I would like to know who signed the checks, or the check. You signed it. Who else?
Me.
And you,
Direction from-
you think that's conflict of interest?
I asked, whoa, you asked me a question.
Yeah.
When you guys were in here, this check needs to be signed, and the chairman said, anybody who has authorization can sign it, and you walked out.
Well, I wasn't here. I'm not privy to that information.
That's
All
not
I'm
hearsay,
telling
that's not
you,
hearsay, that's.
all I'm
hearsay.
telling you, Chopper, that is conflict of interest.
And conflict of interest is perception. What was done was perfectly legal.
Get over it.
I ain't gonna get over it.
Well, that's your problem, that's gonna eat you up.
I guess that leads me to my question is, what difference does it make if the check was cut in 2015 and paid in 2016?
No, then make me a check out for 15,000 bucks and I'll sign it.
Hey, this is a little different than the dog pound. This had many motions
I'm not
approved
talking to
through
Doc
this
Bond, I'm
board.
talking this
He
particular
was,
check.
he was authorized a severance pay, so he was
Yes.
paid it in one lump sum versus the bi-weekly. So I don't know what is done, what's
The bi-weekly
illegal
has
about
nothing
it.
to do about it, nothing.
Well, tell me what's illegal about it.
You tell me when you authorized to give him that money.
I didn't. I
Okay.
did not vote for
Can you
that.
tell me anybody on the board that did?
It passed.
Where? Who authorized giving the city the check? Who authorized giving the city the check in 2015?
Process, David. The
Huh?
city, that's a
Hey.
process. The city is our fiduciary, they do all of our payroll. The natural tendency is not to take it out of our money per se, because it is considered pay per employee. It has to go to the city. The process was followed correctly, and it was done correctly.
Well, I think we're just kind of move on, and we'll take this up at maybe the next month's meeting when
You
the
know, that's what we've been doing.
chairman is here.
We have been doing that for 2 years since I've been here. We'll take it up next month.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
And what am I gonna do
How
about
about
it? You know
this?
what I should do?
What?
I should hire an attorney and sue the board.
Then do it.
You're pretty smart over there, Chopper.
Well,
I stuck up for you, and I tried to keep you on the employee, and then you're shooting me down.
in the end, it's not gonna make a difference, Dave. He got his money.
He hasn't got his money, he just told you that.
Well, the city's sitting on the check.
I'll try that one again, I was trying to
But
remember.
why was Stacy signing? I don't agree with that, because I think it requires the chairman, I think there's a chain of command on signature checks. I mean, I had to come in the other day and sign a
Yeah,
check
yeah.
for $164.
Stacy has the right to sign a check.
I'm not disputing that. I'm disputing you signing it.
I have no conflict of interest.
Severance pay was approved, was it
Yes.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, in order for the severance pay to be paid,
A check.
North Kooch has to give the city a check for that amount.
Yep. I'm right with you. This board authorized giving the city that check. We authorized the severance pay.
We
We didn't
authorized-
offer,
But that's, we authorize the payment of our people. And we give a check automatically to the city to draft the checks. Do we not?
that's different,
Why is it different?
because it is different. This is severance, not payroll.
But the severance was approved by this board.
I go along with you 100%. I mean, there is no, the only thing I'm disputing as to how the money is being given away.
But in approving the severance, we automatically,
No, you don't. It's like making a budget when you guys, when last year he gave the employees here a 1.5% raise without your authority, and you have never said one word about it. You come to me and you tell me, well, you approved it in the budget. Yes, we approve a budget every year, but we don't give the money away at that time.
I
And we
think,
didn't give him authority to give away the 1.5%.
I think you're being a little,
Yeah, I'm trying to be legal and take care of the people's money. No,
David, no, don't be that way.
the way this goddamn board runs all the time.
we don't need that kind of language.
I'm sorry for saying it.
Your motion approved giving him the money
Yes,
in December.
yes, no,
So what's your argument?
no, I didn't. The motion was made to approve his severance pay. Read it. Read it.
The agreed severance amount via city
Yes.
biweekly paychecks. Yeah.
There's a process in everything, David. This is the process.
Anything else on the minutes? Okay, minutes, are gonna stand, approved with one correction, fourth bullet under construction updates, motion by Farmer, second by Rudd. That method of severance payout is not bi-weekly, it's one lump sum check according to the packet we have in front of us. Okay, next on the agenda is.
Can we have a vote on the minutes?
We need to vote on the minutes.
I'll make a motion. Accept the minutes.
I vote no.
Okay, hold on, because I was trying
Needs
to
a
get.
motion to second. Or
The
motion to
minutes?
approve
I
the
made
minutes.
the motion to approve the minutes.
Seconded it.
I second it.
It's Speak up now, okay. All right, now to vote.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
Do you have a quorum here?
yes, we do. We have Jim Rudd on the.
Yes. Approve the minutes.
Jim, you vote yes?
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
vote yes.
One no, Mike was a no. Okay, now we gotta look at the disbursements. The January disbursement, $78,093.13.
Mr. Chair, I would so move to approve the disbursements as of January 19th, 2016.
Second.
Second by Robert. Any discussion? I guess I just had a question maybe for Greg.
Yep.
On the 2010 truck, working
Yeah,
order,
there was
5,
some work done on that, some crash sensors in the front, the airbag light was on. And
566?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that getting old, that truck? No?
It's not too bad.
No. I know they can get nickel to dime to that when they get old, and everything's $1,000 to fix mine, you know.
it's only 5 years old.
Yeah, I know.
You got 2,000, I'm still gonna.
Yeah. All right, I guess, the only other comment I'll make is this blanket authorization for, the director of severance.
I apologize, I forgot to write that on there.
It's on here.
Oh, city of Falls, okay,
Yeah.
yep.
Why wasn't it listed as,
That shouldn't, it should not, I don't know why it went to a blanket authorization, but I think that's what upset Don. Or
There's
Dave.
really no, number for it.
I mean, when, it's just like when we did Shay paid that fine, it was just listed as miscellaneous cash or something like that. Why wasn't it listed 3,000 from Shay? So it was a penalty, and this a few months back, remember? It wasn't listed as payment out from Shay.
I guess I just took all off of my disbursements, everything that was paid, and put it onto the blanket authorization.
Yeah, but I mean, it should have been the 13th, it should have been for the payment for the director. No, I mean, if you look at, it just says the 13,000, it doesn't say, we all know what it's
It
for.
says McBride severance,
Right.
right there.
It shouldn't be listed, huh?
It says McBride severance.
The blanket authorizations.
I got 7. Oh, I got too many papers.
This one,
Oh, I got I'm sorry, I got December's.
you asked for it yesterday.
I know, I got 2 of them.
Well,
I'm old.
the only reason I can think that Dave was upset is because this was handled through blanket authorization and it shouldn't have been.
Again, Steve, there's no real controlling, this is a first time thing, there was no control number to put it on. Process would dictate that it would go there, you guys can figure it out later, maybe to have a, I don't know, severance or early retirement package account, I don't know, but there's.
And he was set up to be done December 31st. The payment was to go to the city, and today's payday, so that it had to be done, so I paid it before the meeting. In order to keep everything online.
With the first, for the city,
Yes.
first paper.
Yep.
Everybody knows what is happening here
I
except
know.
for Dave.
Well, I
He
don't
wants
know.
to make an issue of it, let him make
I
an
know.
issue of it. It's not gonna go anywhere.
No, it's not gonna change anything. Anything else on the disbursement? Anybody got anything?
Yeah.
Okay, Jim?
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
who signed that severance check?
Chopper and Stacy.
What?
That's might have why Dave might have been a little upset, but
Chopper and Stacy signed that check?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
okay. All right, we'll call for a vote. I think Robert.
Yes.
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 Jim?
Okay.
Yes.
That's the okay. Financial reports. Everybody has those.
You will see after my QuickBooks class, and with some help from Jenny Herman, everything is in there now. All of your assets and liabilities are in there, and it's more thorough, and it's all there now.
Mr. Chair, I would so move to approve the
Motion,
financial report.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Second, Jim. Any discussion? I guess my only comment is that, you know, what's good and what's bad. I see that our net income is down, right, from 14, page 4,
Which report are you looking at?
income and expense.
Income expense, budget versus actual?
Yeah. January through December 2015. It says there on page 4, net income is down almost $48,000 from the year before.
We had less,
I don't know why that would be.
well, the fact that we did not have as much affluent, much treatment, your numbers are down.
Yep.
Because of the precipitation, the rain? Okay. And that's I&I, you think, or less I&I?
Well, that is questionable, but the product coming into it was less than,
Anticipated.
right.
Because we budget so much that we expect to treat, and with the precipitation being down, we didn't have that to treat, so we couldn't bill. Therefore, your numbers are lower.
Well, these are pretty much inclusive for the whole 2015 then, these figures.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on that other sheet, he only budgeted half of what was actually, what our income was. And that's,
Budgeted $2,047,221.
oh, no, he says 340, I'm looking at page 2, net income. The
Oh.
last line item. He budgeted 346,000, and I guess we made 777,000. You see that?
No, that's what you spent.
It says net income.
Over budget, $431,000. You didn't have the flows, other reasons, there were a few costs. So that's what those numbers.
I'm speaking out of turn, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry.
What are you questioning, Chair?
Chemicals were a little more than.
We're on financial statement.
Right.
Okay, how about income expense budget versus actual?
It's higher.
It's a two-page bulletin. And the second page says net income, to
Okay.
the bottom. why is it net income 777,000 and the budget was 346,000? That's what I'm questioning.
It's a good thing, though.
We made money, we didn't lose.
Well, yeah, it is a good thing. But we gotta figure out what's going on here, that's the trouble. All these figures don't mean anything unless we know what they can attribute them to it.
And it's hard to attribute because like, Mr. Chairman, may I? May I?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I've been involved with county budgeting and city budgeting and business budgeting. And you can get pretty close, although business is a little hard, because you don't know how much your people are gonna, sell or buy or that year. And we're in a similar situation. We rely on flows, rely on a lot of variables. Where cities and counties rely on a pretty stipulated levy, and they can figure out what they do. They call their staff in. You need a truck, okay, there's 40,000, you need probably 2,000. They can nail their budgets down pretty good in anticipated income. We can't anticipate our income. It's impossible. We can get pretty close on our budgetary needs and figures, but we can't account for our flows. Our flows are based on God.
Mr. Chair, I think the big difference there is the PFA income, the rehab project. That upped the income by 455,000.
And that's true, that's been in play for 3 years now.
Yeah, that really is your total difference there.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
who's speaking?
Jim, that was Susan.
No,
No, Cynthia.
Cynthia,
Who before that?
Chopper.
Chopper.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, I have one question. The WIF money I see showing up, but where the WIF liability month to month, where does that show up?
The WIF ends up being on the checking, savings, and investment form.
Right, I see that. I see that money sitting there, but every month we're bringing in money on that surcharge. So,
That's the 50 cents per thousand?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So shouldn't there be a line item that is a liability that money goes into that account or that line item so that we can, because we only pay it once a year, so that we know how much of our savings is actually going to be committed to that 1 month check. And I don't see where that money just rolls right into our cash account and it's not itemized as, hey, we have so much money earmarked for WIF when we have to pay it. It doesn't show up as a liability for us.
It's itemized in the audit, and then we move it for February 22nd, I will move it into the WIF account.
Right, I know, but we just move it out of our cash account. Well, we should have an expense month by month saying, hey, part of our cash account is earmarked for that WIF payment, so that when we look at our cash account, and then we look at that item that's saying, oh, hey, we're 9 months into the year before, we have 3 months left before we have to pay this WIF thing in February. So we can look at an item as a liability and say, okay, right now we owe $275,000. $275,000 of our cash is actually earmarked for WIF. Because when you look at our cash accounts, you don't know actually how much from month to month, what our WIF liability is at that time.
Mr. Chairman?
Oh.
Mr. Chairman? Steve?
Yes.
And that certainly can be done, but it is kind of a strange thing, and like you say, it is an earmark because it is a liability, but we pay ourselves, so it's an asset. But you're right, Jim. Maybe if you get back, you can talk to Stacy and maybe come up with something that there's a monthly or a bi-monthly indicator about that WIF. But in all actuality, that WIF is ours. I mean, we pay it to ourselves.
Yeah, understood. But we want to start straightening out this our paperwork so that we can actually know what cash on hand we have and stuff like this instead of always digging for these numbers. So, again, we'll work on that when we get back.
Madam, Mr. Chair,
Cynthia,
I just want to say that Jim is right, but the thing is that if we're collecting the WIP and it's running through the income statement, then it must be, then it appears that our operating income is too high by a material amount. Therefore, when that WIP is recorded, Jim is absolutely right, it should be recorded as due to restricted assets or funds, because that money is earmarked. There should be a separate fund established for the WIF. So you can't have at one fund, you need two separate funds on your balance sheet. One that reflects the fact that those monies are restricted, that's a restricted fund balance, and then the operating fund balance.
and that's capital, only used for capital improvement.
Yeah, and that needs to come out of your income statement so that you don't feel that your operations are better than they are. And that's a significant.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, can you help Stacy with that when you get back?
Yep.
Try to, we can set up another account, like Cynthia says, 2 more accounts,
Yeah.
What we're doing.
line items?
What we're doing was copacetic with, the auditor and PFA. But I agree with Jim, it's a shadow liability, it's not a real liability that we owe, per se, it is for us. But yeah, that can be separated, and you and Stacy can work on that.
Okay, any other questions on the financials? Call for the question. Art?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda is the old business. Says $760 per employee per month for BSBS. That should be BCBS, Blue Cross Blue Shield. And that is $760 per employee. So, do we have a
What is it actually?
handout here regarding that?
No, because you capped it at $13.50. If you take our total insurance and divide it out, each employee owes $7.60 a month. Would you like me to collect $7.60 a month each month? Can they pay in full, or how would you like to do that additional $7.60 that the board's requesting from each employee?
Okay, let's see, do we have a motion? Should have a motion and second before we discuss it, right?
Yes.
I can make a motion
We haven't
that
made a
we
motion
approve the $7.60 per employee per month.
Second.
Second by Jim. Okay, now, Mike.
That's what that's what each employee's gonna owe per month
For health insurance.
for health insurance. Now does that include Harry Reedman?
Mary can handle all that.
Harry Reedman's the only one it includes. Nobody's changed anything with the supplements for Medicare, so retirees still get what they got. Until you guys change that.
Wait, no. John Bruggeman and his wife and Carol Hagen, her husband,
They're Medicare
They
B.
do.
they're on
Medicare
Medicare and they get a supplement. Harry is the same as Rappaway, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Harry pays $7.60 too.
You didn't indicate an adjustment for the retirees.
No.
Pardon me?
There was no adjustment indicated by the board for the
We
retirees.
just capped it at $13.50. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Harry's is, and we spread it out over 7 employees, right? Yeah,
Correct.
7 that are on, yeah. But I would have liked to have seen something from Cindy.
Nothing comes from Cindy on this. This is in-house. We pay the insurance.
Okay, well, then there must be something in here we gotta cut a check to them.
Blue Cross Blue Shield, where is it?
There's not a breakdown of any kind on
Oh, it's on
it's in blanket, I think. wasn't it?
It is.
It says 3-month premium. What does that mean?
Those are your retirees' premiums that we're paying for Medicare. So those still stand, that retirees, I paid $2,653.20 for the retirees' Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah.
And I pay their Medicare RX for 3-month increments of $421.20. So nothing has changed for that. You're
Retirees.
only changing those on the Blue Cross Blue Shield, which are the 5 of us here, Mr. Reedman, and Mr. Rappel.
That's $9,503.
Yes.
Okay.
The only discussion you had about reducing retirees was to take the Blue Cross RX away.
No,
Well,
the 104 supplement.
Isn't that the 104?
No.
Okay, I'm wrong then, I'm sorry.
We've
Yeah, it was a
never acted
10
on
it was
that.
104 supplement.
What's that, Mike?
We've never acted on taking away that 104.90.
Correct.
You discussed it, but you never.
We've discussed it and it came to the board and I think we were gonna vote on it at a later date. And to my understanding, John was not against it at all.
No.
And I don't know if this is the time today or not to do away with not paying their Medicare supplement any longer.
No, it's not the time. We need the board here, the chairman and,
But we discussed that way back in September or August or September, and we've never taken any action on it. And I guess sometimes we let
But the
things go
chairman
too
can't vote
long.
on it anyways. John can't vote on
Yeah, he can't vote. He would have to abstain from
Abstain,
voting because it
right.
affects him.
I thought when we discussed it before, it was a minimal cost, so we were gonna keep it as an option.
$7.60 a month.
It's about $5,000 a year
The,
that it's costing us. It's $1,200 a piece a year. So that's $4,800 right there, plus the extra $4, you know what I mean? So it's close to $5,000 a
It's
year. we're paying.
$5,035.20 for the supplement.
The four retirees.
and the rest of it is, see, these 3 months, so that's about 10,000 for the year, just the regular Medicare.
200 something a month.
It says
for,
2,000, it says 2,653.20 for 3 months.
I think we're getting off the subject of the motion.
I guess we're not, we're talking.
Well, we're talking about health insurance.
We're talking about $7.60 per employee per month for Blue Cross Blue Shield. At least that's what the motion was.
Right.
it. Well, let's take care of that first.
And this will be handled payroll deduction through the city.
I have a clue how you do it.
Yeah,
Because
Mary has a deduction sheet with her check, probably 50 or 60, and she can find a deduction
Brooke,
there.
my daughter got QuickBooks, she just talked to the insurance and our accounting. And then QuickBook, it has a number where to put it, so you can talk to her on Wednesday if you want.
And then we have to figure out how we're doing Mr. Rappaway and Mr. Reedman, because they do not have a payroll deduction. Do I bill them $7.60 a month, or do I bill them for a whole year?
Who cuts their,
Per
Blue
month.
Cross Blue Shield.
Well, I don't know, I guess let those two decide if they wanna pay it by the year or by the month. Let those two decide which way they wanna go. Whichever way they decide, they both have to go the same way.
can you look into that? Okay, all right.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah. I was thinking we cut their check for their health insurance, we could just deduct it from that, but it doesn't work that way, or
Pay-
We can't do that,
Yeah.
because
No,
the
'cause I
check
just-
is going directly to,
Blue Cross. Unless she sends them an invoice each month.
Yeah, that's a lot of blowing.
All right, well, are we ready to make a move
What
on
are we
this?
gonna do with the $7.60 for the retirees and leave it up to Stacy?
Where to put it?
And then I'm just putting it into miscellaneous, I assume, when I get it.
Just put miscellaneous income insurance.
Call for the question? Everybody done?
I still have a problem with it. If it goes into miscellaneous, how do we know that?
Insurance.
Insurance.
I understand that, so that would be like, $15.20 each month, and if they did it monthly. What would be going into miscellaneous, so we know what it's.
No, we got all 7 employees, so.
No, but ours is coming.
Yeah, but
directly
Mary's
from-
gonna take it, Mary
Oh,
can take
okay,
it out right out
okay,
of
yeah.
the check.
I see what you mean, alright.
That's the simplest way.
Yeah,
What's that? You said-
but the retirees don't get a check, so we'll have to just,
Let Stacy handle that, however those guys wanna pay, if they wanna do monthly or if they wanna do yearly.
Well, that's not the motion. Are we talking about the retirees or are we talking about the
760,
employees?
760 per
Employee.
employee.
We're talking about employees.
Includes retirees.
Oh, okay.
It's everybody covered under the health insurance.
Well, Mr. Billick's motion was pay the $7 and some cents monthly, so why are we talking about the retirees paying it some other way? We better make another motion or something about that, because you can't deal with all of them in this motion.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So let's vote on his motion.
I guess I do have another question, then how come John doesn't fall underneath the same program as Harry Reedman and Rappaway?
Because he's 65 and has Medicare, but when Mr. Reedman worked, he had no social
Social Security.
security, he is under the regular.
So he draws no supplement check, he draws no social security from his widow.
He's a
From his-
single Blue Cross Blue Shield premium. Just like Tommy Beyondich. Only it's more because he's had more use.
Okay, you ready? We'll vote on this motion and then we'll go after that. Robert?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes,
Yes. Jim?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's per month per employee.
correct.
Do we wanna just, the retirees, do we wanna let Stacy investigate how they wanna handle it? And if they wanna pay annually, we'll come back and address that again?
I would say that's okay, yeah. That's
That
okay with
okay?
me.
If you wanna call, Bob and Harry, yeah. See how they wanna do it. Hopefully they're aware that they're gonna have to start paying something, and
Bob,
this
if
shouldn't.
Mr. Reedman knows nothing.
He doesn't know nothing. Then he should watch Channel 7 more often then. Okay, next item under old business is HRA information from Mr. Farmer.
That's not happening. He's gone.
And Dave left the meeting, so unless somebody else has information about it, I have no clue what this is about.
I know very little.
This, we will definitely put on next month's agenda. Okay, we have to figure out what we're gonna do. We might contract out that for the district, I'm not
The
sure
only
if that's
thing-
what he's looking at.
The only thing I heard on it is something to do with the employees. Whatever it was, they all have to agree 100% on it or something, how HRA is gonna be handled from now on, if it's gonna go through, a company does, that all they do is HRA, plans. And I think it's like $350 to get this company to come here and do the program, show us the program, and then I think it's like $5 a month for each employee to belong to the HRA program through this company. That's about all I know about it. And other than comp time or something, I don't know anything about any of that.
Apparently comp time can be put in, it's right in this, however, Mr. Farmer's gonna have to talk on it, because it's the same company the city uses, but the city also has the police department, the city, and the fire department, where we only have 5 people, and we're not sure collectively if we agree with wanting to do this, because I'm not complaining that I have to do it for 5 people. It is not a big deal for me to do it. If I had 30, I would maybe want to farm it out, but I don't. Do I look on the IRS website when I have a question? Absolutely.
I guess the other question I have is, how come sometimes an employee takes comp time as time off? Sometimes their comp time goes into the HRA program. I mean, I don't quite understand how that works.
Mr. Chairman, then these guys can add. We had big issues with the comp time adding up because of the weather factors, the flooding, other issues. Tremendous amount of overtime was being collected by the employees. So Tom and I and my brother and a couple other people, I think Steve might even been there, we talked about, and Don, we talked about the fact that we have to curtail the time off. We're shorthanded as it is. We really are. We've got a 4-man plant that seems like a lot. It's not a lot. There's a lot of work to do. So we thought, how do we figure this out? Well, legally we found that there are a lot of areas that you can look at to say to the employee, you can only collect 24 hours of overtime and then you're paid the rest. But we don't have a paid overtime program. We have a comp program which strictly has time off. So we talked to the guys and said, if we cut you off at 24 hours and then put the rest in your HRA as a benefit, you know.
Minnesota cities?
Okay, so this is
League of Minnesota Cities looked at it.
Oh, I don't doubt that it's legal or not, I just don't understand. So you're allowed to bill 24 hours
a month.
Huh?
24 hours a month is all that you can use in comp time. Anything else over 24 hours a month is transferred over into a dollar base in HRA. No money exchanges hands. They have to turn in a health reimbursement in order to get, they have to give me a dental, an eye, a doctor, then they get it that way.
See, this is the first, I mean, I knew that something about the 24 hours of comp time they could build up, but I didn't know what period of time and how it worked from there on. So now I guess I do understand
Mr.
how
Chair.
you're doing it.
Done.
Stacy,
Done.
did Mr. Farmer request this be put on the agenda?
Well, yes and no. I mean, he's been talking with Greg and the employees about the program. He had information sent to me that I forwarded to the plant to look at.
I would suggest that this be not discussed until Mr. Farmer is present, because it was from Mr. Farmer, and what we're talking about is going all over the place, and I think we should just move on.
I agree. If Dave wants to bring it up later, let him bring it up. Because we don't know what he's thinking there. Next item is insurance information from Solutions Insurance. That's Cindy Highball.
And that is that connecting and innovating. It is the League of Minnesota Cities coverage. We had a decrease overall, and it's just all explained in here.
Only decrease was in the premium? Okay. You have a motion?
But you've motioned to have, this is our annual insurance, so you
So
don't
this
need
is just,
this is just information. You don't need to
we've
motion.
already approved this with Cindy. Okay. This year's, all right. Any questions? I guess Mike, you mentioned that we have a decrease, that's just in the premium,
That's
like
pretty much what I'm telling you.
$3,000 difference? But the coverage stayed the same.
Absolutely, yep.
So our premium's dropping $3,000?
So,
Stacy, this property that we have that's listed property and open, are we talking, lift stations or,
Anything we know,
pardon?
anything we know.
It gives a definite, description of 15th Street
lift station probably.
and 15th Avenue.
Yeah.
That's a lift station or something?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
The lawnmowers are on here,
Yeah.
the tractors, whatever, it's all listed here, what's covered. And we had, after the plant was complete, we had a gentleman come in and go through everything. Was that last summer?
Yeah.
I have one question.
Yes, Jim.
Who owns lift stations 1 and 7?
North Kooch.
North Kooch owns lift station 1 and 7.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a John Deere loader, a 420? We do?
Yes.
Where is that kept?
It's in the garage over here.
It is?
Yeah. That came with the project back in '84. So we've had it a long time. It's a little tractor with bucket on it.
Okay. I never saw it out there.
We don't use it that often, but it's there.
Okay. There's no action needed on this since this is just a description of what we do have and what's
Correct.
covered. It's there. The insurance is there. Okay.
Is there any time when Cynthia's gonna come talk to us again?
If you want her, we just have to call, she'd be happy to come.
Because we're all okay, on board with everything, she's got, okay.
She keeps in contact, she sends things regularly, yes.
Comp, liability, health, she's got everything.
Okay. I wonder if we shouldn't get her on some type of a, quarterly or semi-annually type. Lock her in for some, come and talk to the board about what's going on, maybe in June or July, if that's a good time, or for the next year. That's what I hate about county board is the health insurance, they renew it in October for the next year's. And by that time, it's kind of getting towards the end of the year and it's a little late to adjust for anything when you have big increases.
I guess on this mobile property, just take that 1985 John Deere 420 loader. What's that 57,000 mean?
What page?
I'm on.
That's what it cost when they bought it.
Huh?
That's what it cost when they bought it. The value.
You remember that it's replacement costs and liability on a piece of equipment.
Oh, okay.
What?
We just know dang well it ain't worth $57,000.
It's still on your depreciation sheet, it's still at 57,000.
You got 5,000 for you, if you're lucky.
Well, as to your question, Mr. Chair, I would think possibly if there was something that's going to be changed by the League of Minnesota Cities, that she would want to come here and explain what the League of Minnesota Cities is going to do. We do realize that the League of Minnesota Cities pays us a check probably every year for they're not paying out on this, and their profits are divided up between all people that are within the League of Minnesota Cities. And this year, or in 2015, we got a check from them for,
Is it 7,000?
Yeah.
A refund, yeah, a dividend check,
yeah,
How much did we get?
roughly 7,000, I think.
All right, well, we'll think about that later on in the year when, if we wanna get Cindy in here to talk to us about our insurance
She
coverage.
would be happy to come in
Yeah.
whenever you asked.
Next on the under old business, severance paid, director.
I think that was approved already.
I was just letting you know that it was paid in
Yeah.
full today.
It was on the,
I don't know
Financial.
what the issue is, what difference it made if a check was cut the end of last year or beginning, why,
he's just trying to be technical and.
I don't know what, I mean, it's, we'll see how that plays out. Okay, next on the agenda is staff and committee reports. We have Greg here.
All right, Mr. Chairman, and board members, just a few things this past month. Like, our daily operation just consists of coming in every day, and there's actually things that we do on a daily basis, monitoring of our digesters, our clarifiers, and it's just stuff we do every day, you know, it's just routine, but we keep track of the sludge levels and the clarifiers and adjust pump times and stuff so we're not pumping too much water to the digester. If you do that, then you've got to heat that much more water and stuff to keep the digester at 95 degrees. So what we do is every day we watch and monitor things like this real close. Just so to let you know that. And also, we're keeping an eye on our pond levels out there on the truck route. We're transferring water out of the ponds to the plant slowly through the winter now, just for a little bit of dilution, and to have the ponds down come spring. We do that every year. And we also transfer water from one primary cell to the other, and just things we monitor and keep an eye on. We just placed an order about a week ago for another load of ferric sulfate. We're gonna try Hawkins this time. We got a price from them, and I think I mentioned this last meeting that it's gonna be, every load's gonna be close to a $600 savings. So we'll try them this time. I believe they're coming next week. We'll see how they deliver with their truck and stuff and what they got, and we'll give them a try. Because it is, you know, it's quite a savings for the district. East Kooch, all the heat tapes are on. We just finished turning them on, and some of our lines are only about 3 feet deep out there, the heat tape ones. And I understand that the frost is down at least 2 feet or better in the areas that are plowed off, so we thought we'd get on that and make sure the heat tapes are on. We don't have any trouble with any freezing.
We don't have any freeze-ups reported as of yet.
Nothing, nope. Another thing is what we're doing, we just started, is a 40-day bench digestion test. It's a test that's required by the MPCA to meet our biosolids report. It's like a little miniature digester that Tom sets up in the lab. We run it for 40 days on the sludge out of our secondary digester, and you gotta see how much kind of reduction in volatile solids there is. I just thought I'd run that by you quick, but it's just little tests that we gotta perform. Takes 40 days to do it, and that we have to meet that for the MPCA. And if we don't, that tells us our digester ain't performing like it should, but we've always met that.
Is it like a chia pet you have on the lab
It's
counter?
Yeah, it's on the
in the
counter. It's
morning,
just a
and-
little water bath thing that we got to keep it heated to certain degrees and
Huh.
take temperatures every day and mix it and stuff. And then we run the jars and stuff and run a test on them every 10 days. We've always met that. What it is, it's for vector attraction reduction. If your digester ain't working properly and you put the biosolids on the field, it attracts a lot of flies and stuff, and they don't want that. You got to meet a certain limit there as far as reduction. Also, every week, you know, we send out our mercury, our monthly mercury, our weekly phosphorus samples. We've been bringing them uptown and mailing them out, UPS, FedEx. Pace Laboratories contacted us in December. and they are coming up here once a week to pick up Boise samples. So what we do is get it all ready, ice them down, and they have stopped at the plant now. They're stopping at the plant once a week and picking up our samples. It's about the same price to do that, but it's a little more convenient for us just to get the cooler ready, and they come in and grab it and go. So they've been stopping at Boise.
Where were you mailing them? To the
Where?
PCA, MPCA?
To Pace Laboratories in Virginia.
You were mailing them to
We
them.
were mailing them, but they stop them up. They're bringing a guy up now to pick them up at different places. I think it all started with Boise having a little trouble with holding time. Certain tests, there's a certain holding time, certain temperature they gotta stay at. And they were having a little trouble, so with some of that, they asked us if we wanted to take part in it. We said, we'll try it. It's about the same price, so it's a little more convenient for us. We also know, come July, we are required to renew our permit, our MPDS permit. And we started with that. There's a lot of information that has to be filled out on the application form to reapply for our permit for the plant. Bob did all the groundwork last time. We are setting up some stuff on the computer, folders and stuff, and taking each part of the application and working at it. But it's gonna take some time, and there's a lot of information that you gotta gather and put in there. I did talk to Bob, and he told me if you have any trouble to let him know, because he did a lot of talking with Larry, who helped him on the last one, to gather a lot of information that we needed. We do got a lot of information over there, but there'll be some stuff that we have to gather yet to renew this permit. It's quite a process you go through to get it renewed.
Every year?
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Yep. So that's what we've been also working on, little by little, and just gathering information and filling out that application. And the last thing is that this past month, now we did meet all our effluent requirements with no problem. And that's about all I got.
Any questions?
We have information, or we have copies of the permit that we sent in from previous 5-year periods.
The application and stuff that we went through?
NPD?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have a basic knowledge of what they're looking for.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. We got the old one there, and I can be honest with you, Bob did a lot of groundwork on this last one. The information that's on there, it took a lot of time to get all that stuff, but he told me he worked a lot with Larry Van Hout from Witsit to get some of this stuff
So
too.
we got copies of that.
We got copies of it, yep. There'll be
Okay.
some stuff that we'll have to take like our yearly average here and stuff and figure that stuff out, but we'll get it.
The plant's changed in the last 5 years.
Yep.
So that's, yeah, I don't know.
I have one question for you, Gary. When you have holidays, I was looking yesterday, how do you guys handle that now?
We split them. Somebody's on call every holiday, and we try to make it work out where if somebody's on call, they usually take, say if it's a Monday, the holiday, if you're on call for the weekend, then the guy on the call will usually take that Monday holiday, just to give the other guy a long weekend.
Oh,
We
okay.
work it out together, we split them all up.
'Cause I was looking here, I see there's what, 10 or 11
10 or 11
holidays,
holidays,
and I
yeah.
was wondering exactly how you handle that.
Yep.
That's all. If you're on, say you cover New Year's or whatever, then the following Monday, you get a long weekend.
Yeah.
You have you have, you mentioned in the mornings you come in, you have a group meeting? You have-
Yeah, we usually do.
And
yeah.
you go over
Go over
what's
stuff.
got,
What needs to be checked out.
okay, that's good. I don't know, without having somebody sitting in Chopper's seat right now, how that is gonna affect you guys right now, or if it's just too soon to tell. But, I think the board here is looking at what our options are gonna be here.
Okay. Another thing on that permit, the last permit, Chopper's name was on there as the director
Yeah.
and signing some of the papers. Who's gonna sign it?
I think the board chair is probably.
That's not due till July, right?
Right, it's not due till July, but we're taking one application at a
Oh,
time,
yeah.
one area.
So, I mean, no, question for Stacy, are you adapting to it pretty well?
I'm adapting, yep. I've been Greg comes in and we talk and he lets me know what's going on
So
out there.
things have been going pretty smoothly.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, along, both of you know that we're working on this, and it's gonna take a while to figure out what we're gonna do, but, we appreciate your helping us out.
And I'm going off track here, but another thing was now with our American Express bill, Chopper was the director, he was the person, and now it's in my name. So we need to decide, because the credit checks had to be done on me in all of this. Hence, we weren't paying a late bill because it's in my name. So it's gonna go to a board director here, or however you're gonna do that.
Are you looking for authorization for
We had no-
yourself on the American Express?
I was already put on as administrative assistant when I first started to make, that I could do it, but we had to take Chopper off on the 31st,
Right,
and I had nobody to put on, because we knew we were having board elections, so it's
Maybe.
now. What's that?
maybe.
Okay. I just want you to know that I will change that once you
We're-
decide
we're
what you're gonna
looking-
do.
Yeah.
How you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
so it is in my name
Well,
with
we'll-
affecting my credit, hence we made sure it was paid on time.
Just call, come sign it. Yeah, well, just bear with us for a little, a month or so, we'll see how everything's gonna wash out. That's all on the, operators report. Any more questions?
No.
Okay, next on the agenda, new business.
I'd like to make a motion, we table all of that new business till next month.
A motion by Mike, table. Did you get that, Jim?
Yeah,
Any issues with it? I mean,
I don't think that.
When does Harris
proper.
get his step?
Not the whole
Hit
thing
his
on new
13th.
business.
So we
there's
should,
no second.
yeah. So, I mean,
Hasn't been a second.
it was just a question. We wanna know if we're gonna be inclusive of all the
I
items.
think you should go on with the rest of the new business except for the election of officers. Wait till next meeting and do that, because then everybody will be here.
Is that a motion?
We got a
Motion
motion.
by Robert.
We got a motion on the floor.
Mike's was not
Looking
seconded.
for a second.
Mike's was not seconded.
Got to call 3 times.
Call for a second on Mike's to table all new business. Call for a second twice. Call for a second 3 times. Motion died. New motion, Robert made a motion to table the election of officers and to retain all the rest of the items under new business. Do I have a second? Do I have
I'll
a second? Okay, Don seconded Robert's motion, so, the election of officers is gonna be tabled till next month.
We
And
gotta
right
vote
now,
on that. If there's no question,
Okay.
we can vote on that
we'll
motion.
vote on that,
I have one comment on that. Our enabling legislation stipulates that the election of officers are held in the month of January. So just be aware of that when you vote.
Well, the only thing I was thinking is because of the number of board members we have here today, that
the city, there is 3 appointments coming up at the city today, at the city council. Myself, Jim's, and Tom's. So
Yep.
That's why I wanted,
I think we should wait till next month, and I don't know,
I mean, we could have a special meeting still in January if that's,
wish of the chairman.
I mean, for the new business, I mean,
yeah, we could, well, let's
72 hours, Steve.
let's have a special meeting to do that after we find out who's on the board.
Yeah. So tomorrow you could look at 72 hours out.
I mean,
I'll change my motion to do that. call for a special meeting after the city council.
I'll agree to that.
Okay, so what are we changing then?
After the city meets and manage the.
A special meeting should be called after we find out who the heck's gonna be on this board.
I mean,
Who are the three people that the city is supposed to put on this board? Worth is one of them.
Worth is resigning.
Right, but
Okay.
they're supposed to replace him, the city.
The only thing I believe, if I read it right in the paper, was the reappointment of Steve Blair and Jim Robb.
And up in February.
Huh?
We're up in
In February, those are the only two, and he, to fill
Took
Tom
applications.
Worth's position right now, I don't believe that was on the agenda, right?
It's on the agenda to appoint.
Replacement for Worth.
Yeah, and they were taking applications, so
Right,
I don't know who that third person is. It's not in the agenda.
2-30 says the mayor appoints, the council has to confirm.
Right.
We don't have to confirm.
It says it 2:30, 2-30 in the charter.
So,
We
basic,
have to confirm?
basically what I
Then I'll
understand
bother
is
confirming.
that the city council is gonna replace Worth today.
No, that's not the way I read it in the paper. Maybe I read it wrong.
I
But
don't,
if Blair and Rod is, their
Are up for
terms aren't up until February, then
I mean,
I thought-
what's the
See,
problem?
I thought they were up now.
I thought that the mayor changed the appointments to go from January to December. And
I thought there was something in the paper to
we
that
changed
effect,
it.
but
The city attorney, and Chair, I'm speaking out of order, but I was there, so I can shed some light. The city attorney advised us to change the term from February to the end of January.
okay.
And those are the new terms.
you said February to the end of January.
Right, instead of a calendar year.
Well, how does that work for enabling legislation? If we have to do our,
If you have to do your election of officers in January,
Yeah.
does it matter if you elect, you won't have a current, I don't know.
No, it doesn't
Doesn't
matter. We got a motion by Robert to table the, election of officers until, we know who the new officers are gonna be from the city.
okay.
I
Seconded
believe,
by Don.
I believe
You want to still hold that?
they have up to 60 days to appoint somebody to fill Worth's
Tom,
position.
Mhm.
I think that's all it reads.
Let's, any more discussion? Vote on that, motion by Robert to table election of officers.
You know, Mr. Chair, I don't have a problem with tabling it, but I'm not gonna support it just because it goes against our enabling legislation. We're supposed to vote on it in January.
Yeah,
What do you-
well, we're running out of time in January. It's the
Well,
19th.
It's January. and we're
I don't know
at
when,
meetings,
I don't know when the chair is gonna be back, so,
Okay,
and I don't know if there'll be appointments tonight or not. We might not have all the appointments from the city tonight,
yep.
so we'll do what we can, okay, Tim? Robert,
Yes.
Mike,
No.
Yes.
yes.
No,
No. 2 noes, 3 yes. So we're tabling the election of officers. Next is, I assume it's a letter just for, our own benefit of Tom's resignation.
Mm-hmm.
And, anybody have anything they wanna say? I mean, I personally, I was taken off guard. I didn't see this coming, but
I didn't
I know
either.
we,
I make a motion, we accept his resignation with, I'm not happy about it, because I think Tom was very good on the board here, and, I think we'll miss him, but I'll make the motion, and we accept his resignation.
motion by Mike,
If we don't accept his resignation.
Yeah, come back.
No, I'll second that.
Okay, second.
I don't think we have to, it's in
No.
the city, but I think what we're doing is recognizing that the letter has
The
been
work
sent
he's
for
done.
him to resign, for his resignation.
I don't know if the district needs to send him a letter. I'm thinking the city probably already did, thanking him, you know.
I mean, we could, but I mean,
We could have a party for him at a later date. Invite him in.
in the spring,
Yeah.
fishing trip.
And I want to vote on that. I don't know if we need to vote on it. Just a motion and a second. Okay, next is the rural water membership.
Are we gonna say that that motion has
I think it's
unanimous?
We can vote on it, yes.
Okay,
I vote yes.
yes,
unanimous. Yes.
Yes,
okay.
Okay, rural water membership. And now Stacy gave us this in her packet. And she fixed, the stuff we got emailed was different than what we have in front of us, so.
I think we passed on this prior, that we're not going to be an active membership, but we're going to have an associate membership. And this was acted on sometime in the past,
Yeah.
That was last year.
and this is just information. I don't think no action has to be taken on this.
No, I think this is brand new. Rural water's brand new. For this, this year's membership is new.
Oh, this is for 2016 to 2017.
Correct.
Yeah. We just did one here in July or something.
No, that was
No.
not Minnesota rural water, that was, no, the one we just talked about.
Yes, sir.
Messer.
What's the cost on this?
$275.
Okay, I see it here.
$250 for just being a member. It's a great thing because we get free training. And they will, in emergency, bring up pumpers and generators and help the guys out if we have problems. And Greg and I have discussed it, Bob and I have discussed it. And I've always kind of thought, well, if it's $25, why not have a vote? But, you know, Greg is right. We don't go to their annual meetings for votes. It's still nice to be a member because they will help us in the same manner.
We're talking about an active membership.
No, not, we would, yeah,
Just
associate membership.
It just
What-
doesn't, go ahead.
The active membership gives you a vote at their annual meetings.
Right.
Nobody's
Yeah.
ever been at an annual meeting.
No, nobody's ever been there.
We get the same benefits for being an associate.
Yes, the only thing you can't do is vote at their conference.
What would be the cost of an active membership?
$25 more.
$25 more, but we've never attended their conferences and voted. It gives you the right to vote for their board of directors. We've never done that, so,
Okay,
but you still are, huh?
I would so move for us to be an associate membership in rural water, Minnesota Rural Water Association in the amount of $275.
I'll second.
Or, yeah.
Motion, Don, second, Robert. Any questions?
So rural water, that takes in the city too?
I believe they're a member. The city's a member.
We are, yeah.
It's cheap insurance.
I think you're voting.
So, I mean,
I couldn't-
if it's gonna be that way, shouldn't East Kooch pay for that $275? If it's for the rural? It doesn't affect us in North Kooch.
Yeah, it does. These guys will come up here, say we're having trouble meeting some standards or something in our plant. They'll come, as being a member of Minnesota Rural Water, will send guys up here and help us troubleshoot in that plant too.
Even if it's within the city?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And they bring all that's what, the equipment fund for $25, what that is for, if you see down below there, they got all kinds of equipment and tools and stuff, gauges, it talks about it right here, that they'll bring in and use their equipment to help us troubleshoot stuff, if we're having troubles with something. they're good organizations, and, you know, and then they put on a lot of training seminars, one-day training seminars, that help us too, where we can get time in our hours in for our licensing. And the training that they give, the day ones, there's no cost to them.
They also got us Terry Jackson. Well, I mean, I guess as long as it covers within the city, then I don't really have a problem with it. If it didn't cover the city too, then I would have a problem.
Well, the city's a member, right?
City is a member.
Okay. Then I guess I'm in favor of it.
Any more quick discussion? Jim?
Was Mr. Billig's motion for 275 or 300?
275.
In the ones on here, we're doing option B now. It was crossed out on our things, and I didn't cross it out on the one I emailed you.
The
They're
total,
250 and 25, option B.
the total for option B, an associate member, is 275.
Okay, perfect.
It's not option A, it's option B. And then it has the $25 equipment contribution. 250 plus 25 is 275.
Okay.
No more discussion? Call for the question. Robert?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, everybody's yes. Next is John Harris step increase.
I would so move to approve John Harris's step increase
I'll second it.
and authorize Stacy to send a letter to the city regarding this.
That will include back pay. Prorate this new rate of pay as of 1/13, is that? So,
So I'll just rewrite the letter that's in there.
motion by Don, do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Robert.
To send a letter to Mary regarding, his step, yep.
Where is he at? Are we on 6-year steps? It's so
Yes.
all over the map that I have no
No,
clue.
you were part of that HR committee that did those steps
A lot of
in
different things.
2011.
Yeah,
And there's six year, and he is going to year 3, starting his 3rd year.
yeah. And you're on a 6-year step.
He's only 13. This is his 3rd year, starting his 3rd year, so it's his 3rd step.
Everybody.
Everybody, okay. All right.
He's on his 3rd step,
He's going to year 5.
and there's 6
Oh.
steps.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Greg corrected me to his steps, and so,
It could be year 5. He started on year 1 for 90 days at the B level, and then after 90 days, he went to year 3, which was approved. So then each year after that, he's
He had to be licensed, so they started him
Okay.
at a later
On
step.
year-
Yeah,
after 90 days,
I
he went
remember
to
that.
I
like meat.
So what step is he at?
he's stepping to 5,
And there's 6 steps, right?
yeah. Okay,
Will he bump a step if he passes his A license?
that's up to you guys.
Oh, okay.
We made a
All right, It's
motion.
not automatic.
I think there was a motion made that we're only gonna honor 1 A license.
Okay,
That's paid.
okay.
But that doesn't mean you can.
All right, we'll call for question. Robert?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Don?
Yes,
Yes? Jim?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimous.
So I will rewrite that letter to Mary and make sure that the step is at year
Yeah.
5 then, and I will send it to
His
her.
second year ladder step, well, yeah, I don't know, you have to check.
Okay,
And I don't know if you can compare salary. Maybe Mary knows there. Okay, next on the agenda is septic hauler permits. Stacy has 3 of them in her packet.
4.
4?
Burgess National Park is the only one that's not in there. I will.
Rocky Ledge, Shake. Okay, camping, okay, this is a different one. And she did give me their certificate, license, terms of license, that they are licensed through the contracting period.
Yeah. I have contacted the one that's expiring in February to have a new license sent to me.
And that is
Education and Camping Foundation.
Heinley.
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't do much dumping last year, did they?
They haven't started until the end of the year.
Didn't start
Oh,
till
okay.
July and August. And then, you did pass a motion last year that I did not have to bring these to the board, but seeing as how it was only me, I wanted to bring it just to let you know. So not that you have to pass a motion that we have to do it, but I wanted you to know.
Well, I think we need to do everything by the book out there, and in order for them to haul septic, they're supposed to have a license by the MPCA. And we don't wanna run into any snags if somebody's doing something illegal out there, so I think Greg would probably agree, we've gotta keep a handle on what's going on out there.
Everybody to date is current. Shay expires in May, so I will make sure that Jeff brings me a new one before May.
There's only one person using it during the winter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
And he's good till 2017.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Do they also have to show proof of insurance?
That's in the file.
That's in the file, and all these are good. I would so move to approve the 4 septic hauler permits as presented to us.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Who's the fourth one?
Don made a motion, Robert second.
Put the park, Jim.
Crandall,
I didn't have that paper from.
No, the fourth one was Camp Kooch.
No,
In the email, we didn't have Camp Kooch.
Okay, thank you.
The email, we had Crandall, Rocky Ledge, and Shay Shay, and now the packet has Camp Kooch. 4 of them. So a motion is Don, second is
And
Robert.
Voyageurs National Park.
There's nothing in here, Voyagers, other than their license,
right.
but there's not a,
They called me about depositing the money into our account, so I'm guessing that's coming in the mail in the next few days. So did you want to add them, or did you want them to be next month?
be next month until we get the money.
yeah, we
Okay.
don't have them. Okay, that's not a problem, is it? Any more? Any more discussion?
So you have a camera out there now,
We don't have it up right now.
but you do run it during the summer, or is
Yeah.
that what you do?
Yeah.
So is this a 24-hour camera? I mean, how do you,
Motion activate. I don't know, I guess we don't care, but as long as it's monitored. We don't wanna give out any secrets.
well, I mean, who's gonna go watch that tape every day?
That's gotta be a boring tape.
Yeah.
I guess the Enigma machine has been broken.
I don't know, call for a question. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? None? Robert?
yes.
I vote yes.
Yes,
Yes, Jim?
Yeah,
Okay, motion
Yes.
carried on the septic license. Okay, that is, everything for new business, unless anybody has anything else they're looking at? Nothing? Last item is correspondence for our information. WIF due PFA February 22nd, 2016.
So this is where I transfer the 50 cents per thousand for every gallon that goes through the plant. This is where I transfer that money to the WIF account. And I have to, when I do it, I have to notify the MPC, or the Minnesota Public Facilities, that it's done.
so
And
you're
it's
looking for a
mandatory.
motion to approve the WIF account
Well,
to be
really,
paid?
it's
It's already
mandatory, so
there.
I don't know that you need a motion, it just has to be
Well,
done.
let's do that so we don't cause any further problems that we do have.
Okay.
Are you
Motion-
making that motion?
Yeah.
Yes,
Motion by Don,
I'll second it.
second by Mike, accepting, the motion that accepts the PFA due date for February 22nd,
and that
With-
amount be paid.
and amount be paid. Robert, call for the question?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes,
Yes, Jim?
yes.
Okay. That's all we have on the agenda.
But,
So-
hey, I got one question before I close down.
Mhm.
I got this last page in our packet, from the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority,
Yep.
loan repayment due on our GO bonds.
That's, we just took that, that's the WIF.
Oh, that's the whip, okay, because I don't see what,
Right.
okay.
I have to figure out the gallonage before I can pay it, and I don't know that yet.
I have one more
You
question
don't-
for you,
don't
Jim.
have to- We don't have to sign a check.
I just transfer funds. No, I just transfer funds.
Jim, when are you gonna be back?
27th, next Wednesday, or a week from Wednesday.
Does anybody know when Johnny's gonna be back? No?
Well, why don't we call a special meeting?
I don't have my phone with me, I don't even know if I have his number. I don't know when he's gonna be back, I mean, so we should probably schedule something after the 27th for a special meeting if we wanna elect officers, or will we have more people back here? I don't know.
You have to decide, have to find out what happens at the meeting tonight before you can.
That's true too, yeah.
Don?
What?
Oh, I got Don here, yeah?
I think, since we do have a trustee from the city present at this meeting, that, the city should know that, their appointee to this board, Mr. Farmer, displayed a, very rude he was very rude to this board and to the representation of the city of International Falls. It does not look too good to have a person that they appoint walk out of this meeting and use vulgar language in so doing. And I think that the mayor should be notified by the trustee that is present at this meeting of his actions. And I believe we have to say when our next meeting is going to be.
Exactly, I'm getting to that, but I wanna touch on your comment.
Yeah.
I didn't know when Dave stood up to leave and put his jacket on, I didn't know if maybe he had a medical appointment or something he had to get to. I don't know why he left, but.
Well, it didn't
I guess
appear
that-
to me that he
you know,
had
he
any
didn't-
other
Yeah. He
thing
didn't
that
say.
he was
He
teed
didn't
off
say.
and,
All right, normally, what are we on, a third Monday? So if we're third Monday, that's another holiday.
No, it's not. Well, it's in February.
February, it's President's Day.
I think we should change it to Tuesday, because every Monday's a holiday, you know, so we ended up changing it. So we should have it on the third Tuesday.
I think later is better than moving ahead a week. I wouldn't wanna see it the second, cause we gotta get a lot of things done before then. Stacy, do you have any preference on a Tuesday? If we have it the third
It
Tuesday?
makes back-to-back board meetings for me, but that's fine. I can do it.
So it'd be the 16th of February, Tuesday?
Sure.
Okay, is that okay?
Well, that's we can.
Yeah, well, I mean, otherwise we're out at the end of the month.
By having it on the second week, you just end up with more bills under blanket authorization.
I do believe we should also consider, Stacy has been put under a lot of pressure and a lot of further responsibilities. I think that, possibly on the next agenda, we ought to, have on there some type of, additional compensation for her position as, assistant director. Since this board has not even thought about advertising or doing anything about hiring a director, or even go over what we have on the books for a director.
Right.
Are we gonna, you're gonna check with John to see when he's gonna be back?
I can, yeah.
And can we have another meeting And maybe we'll have a meeting of the whole, that way there, we can do the election of officers and we can discuss what direction we're gonna go in. And I would like to hold off on doing anything until we elect the officers and get more of a direction of what we're going to do.
Well, and that's a good point, because we have to have somebody take our minutes, and I think, Stacy, normally the previous policy was the secretary. Whoever was appointed secretary, I didn't know that, took the minutes for the meeting.
Is Farmer the secretary?
Yeah,
I thought Tom was.
Well, I think I heard rumors that, I don't know this for a fact, I
No, I don't
think
think you
he's,
guys voted for Tom last year, I think you, I
I
can
don't
look
remember,
again.
yeah, I don't remember. but
I think Farmer's the secretary, yeah, I think.
Dave told you he is?
so apparently I'm doing minutes today?
Yeah,
Just, Mr. Chairman, just to put a bug in your ear, Stacy has been in training with me for over a year. She knows everything I know. Executive director is not necessary. I think you should have a strong chairman who's involved a couple, 3 or 4 hours a day. And,
A week, you mean?
yeah, a week, I mean, 5 hours a week, something like that. That chairman should have some kind of reimbursement, but, that's up to you. But I would name her administrator, and I would go from there on your pay package regarding that new job. You do not need an executive director. She knows everything I do. She's been training and working hard, and she's been sitting next to me when things come up. She knows when the GSA control factor for the building is coming. She knows everything. So here's your bug. Like I say, I'm trying to do that to relieve your tension. But I do believe that your new chairman should be a little more active and help and come in with ideas, and probably should be paid just a little bit of money, $30 an hour, something like that.
how much an hour?
30.
Oh, I thought you said 3.
Contract.
I do know that we're gonna explore all options, but we don't wanna put Stacy and Greg in any bind, so,
No, I don't
they
think
just
it would-
have to bear with us for a month or two.
It's a
here
good
to
part-
figure it
it's a
out.
good partnership.
I mean, Greg's gotta pick up some extra duties too,
Yeah.
'cause-
He has, he's done a great
Okay.
job.
All right.
I guess what I'm telling you, maybe at the end I was useless.
No.
But they're good. They
I
have
think we're all on the same page, we got a good crew, so.
And I don't know, Don, your comment about we're not moving quick enough on this, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, we gotta figure out what's gonna happen. We have discussed certain things, bringing someone in a couple hours, maybe a day, 3 days a week, just to help out. I didn't vote for dismissing the director. I didn't vote for it. So the people that voted for dismissal of the director are now making comments that, oh, we don't have a director, what are we gonna do? Well, you had your opportunity to not vote for dismissal, so that's my only comment. Okay, any other items?
Before we adjourn, then you're going to take care of setting up another meeting in January?
I gotta talk to Johnny.
Okay,
I'll talk to the chair and see when he's coming back.
okay, then I make a motion we adjourn.
Okay. I will attend the
Next meeting is
council
the
meeting.
16th?
Yeah,
Okay.
Next meeting, motion adjourned. Do we need a second? No. Okay, meeting adjourned, 9:34.